What's up YouTube? This is James Def Merritt with Perry Homes, and today I'm going to be showing you my model, which is the 4336. It is a 4-bed, 4.5 bath, game room, media room, and a loft, and this sits on a 72 home site. This plan, it can also be built on our 82 and 100 home sites, but today I'm just going to walk you through, show you some of the things that we've done to show you what we're capable of, because this is the model. You don't always have to go all out, but it's important that you know some of the structural changes, and if you're building this plan, some of the things to look out for while building it. So we'll start off with the exterior first. This is the E30 elevation, and we painted the brick. You notice the stone and the hardy plank. So, and we also have the black frame windows. So those are some of the upgrades that you're going to notice on the exterior, but we're going to go ahead and take a look inside, and I'm going to point out some of the things that we've done. So whenever you're going through and building this plan, you know exactly what to look for and how to prepare when building this home with us. All right, guys, so as we walk into the entryway, you will notice that there is the spiral staircase, very tall ceilings, as you can see. It's a very beautiful plan, and you'll notice there's the elevated home office, but we'll get to that in a little bit. But first off, we're gonna start off over here with the dining room in the front of the home. Very spacious, enough space to put a nice dining table in here. Nice fixtures. We have the accent paint on the ceiling. And one thing that I always point out is the same consistency that you see in our model is what you're going to experience on our inventory homes and on the build job. So as we make our way through to the family room, you'll notice the tile is on the fireplace is all the way to the ceiling. There's 19-foot ceilings in here, and we also have the beams that go all the way throughout into the kitchen, which I will get to that in just a second. But first, we're gonna start off with this family room. Now, what you don't see is that there is a floor plug under this sofa right here, but we also have the built-in cabinets on each side. Now that is part of our structural upgrade. The floating shelves that you see, that's a custom, something that we can do. But like I said, it's important to note a lot of the things that you'll notice in this model home, some of them are custom, some of them are structural, but want to prepare you the best way possible if you're deciding to build this plan. You'll see that overlook in the balcony over here. And let's go ahead and check out this beautiful, stunning kitchen. You'll see we have the morning area, how it just flows right from the kitchen to the family room. But want to check out and talk about a little bit about these cabinets also. This right here, this hutch with the glass inserts, that's something that you can choose in design. If you don't choose this, then your cabinets are going to stop right here where I have this coffee pot right here. This upgraded, these cabinets upstairs, the second row of cabinets that you see, that is part of our upgrade. It does not have to be like that, but like I said, we're gonna point out everything in this house, some of the most important things that you'll notice, because a lot of people come in here and they say, hey, I wanna build and I want everything like the model. But the model, it always comes with a price. So just want to be very transparent with that. Over here, we have these beautiful countertops, and you'll notice that instead of doing backsplash, we extended those countertops to match the backsplash with the uplighting that's under the cabinets with the waterfall island, something that's pretty popular, and that's part of our upgrades, and this cafe 6-burner stove that we have here. Some people may not want that, but in Terraces, there is gas appliances, and the fireplace, I forgot to add, is part of our structural feature that's already included. That's not something that you have to pay for. On all of our plans, the fireplace is already included. But just check out some of the hardware. You'll notice the two-tone with the black at the bottom and the white at the top, the second row of windows, or second row of cabinets, and those windows up there at the top, those are part of this plan. The double oven, if you don't want the double oven, that's something that you don't have to do, but you can do the single oven. And look, I'm 6'3", so it is perfectly fine for me, but if you're on the shorter side, you may not want that, or you may want to try and move a couple of things around. And over here, this is where you will be closing once we complete the home, or if you're building, or if you're purchasing one of our inventory homes. But this is the single car garage that we've converted into one of our meeting rooms over here. And check out this large walk-in, beautiful pantry right here. Like I said, we're under the staircase. I'm walking perfectly fine in here. Plenty of rows to put all of your special needs, your canned goods, your waters down here, anything. There's plenty of storage over here in this walk-in pantry. So now, before we do anything, we're gonna go and check out the outside, the exterior, and show you what it looks like over here. This sliding door, this is part of our structural upgrade. Now, we'll get to that in a moment, but first, I want you to check out this beautiful back patio right here. And this view, guys. This is what you get whenever you're over here in Terraces. Depending on the lot, you're always gonna have a beautiful view, but this one right here, it's unstoppable. I don't know how you can beat this. 100% wrought iron. Anything that is backing up to the lake or our exterior in phase one is always gonna be 100% wrought iron. That's part of the requirements in the county of Rockwall. Now let's get over here to this patio, because there are some important things to note back here. So what you're seeing in front of me is the standard patio. This over here is the extended patio. Now, if you're not choosing this option, your patio would stop right here and your door would actually be right there. So one thing that's important, some people say, hey, I want the extended patio and I want the sliding door. You can do this extended patio. You don't have to do the sliding door. You would still have that door over there, but just want to make sure that you're noticing this and making sure that you're aware about that, because those are options that you can do. You have two ceiling fans out here. If you don't want the ceiling fans, it would be blocked and wired, but this is on a 72 home site. Now our 82s, you can build this on there as well, but as you can see, there's some nice space out here in the backyard. And guys, I can't tell you enough about this view. I've been here since I launched the community back in August of 2024, and I just can't get tired of it. It's absolutely beautiful. I love coming here and being able to serve and help anyone that is interested in purchasing a home. So we're gonna go ahead and move along, and we're gonna check out this primary bedroom. Making our way down this hallway, you'll notice that we have this desk feature right here. We're noticing that people are starting to want this to come back, and I think it's a really nice, cool feature that you can have. You got that beautiful uplighting right there. And here we are to the primary bedroom. As you can see, plenty of space, vaulted ceilings over here. And this is the standard size. We haven't done anything to make this custom. This is all the standard size of what you can see. You have that nice, beautiful wall of windows. So if you're waking up, depending on the location and the face of your home, you're gonna have a beautiful sunset right there in the back of your house. And here we have the primary bathroom. Big changes in here, and I'm gonna go through that, starting off with our freestanding tub. So whenever you're going over in design, you're gonna spend most of your time designing your kitchen, the floors, and your primary bathroom. So otherwise, this would be a built-in tub. So if you wanna upgrade this to that freestanding tub, this is the option that you can choose. You can have the square feature, or you can have the oval shaped bathtub, but either one, you have a couple of options. And you have the split vanity, where you have your sink on one side, and then you also have another sink over here. But as you can see, plenty of space. the floor to ceiling tile that we've done. And this is something that I want to point out too. So when you're building and you're going and you're doing your due diligence when looking for homes, a lot of people, you may notice that there are going to be some builders out there that may say, hey, we're going to give you a really large incentive. And I want to talk on that a little bit because I don't want you to look at us and say like, hey, well, why are they giving more and you're just only giving this? And the reason why is because we include a lot more in our homes. And even whenever we're talking about designs like this, for example, you're paying cost for the tile. You're not paying for the design of how you want it laid. And those are things that sometimes buyers may not realize whenever they're saying like, hey, they're giving me $70,000, $80,000 and you're only doing this. But the reality is that we're actually beating the cost because we're not adding on those additional fees in order to do specific designs. And as you can see, this is closet number 1. I always like to say that this is going to be my closet and my wife's going to have the larger closet. So we're going to make our way over there and you can see exactly why I say that. So a lot more space over here. This is hers and she would definitely maximize all of the space in here. We include these shelves and rods, but you know, if you wanted to, you know, have somebody come in, a vendor, and do like some built-in cabinets, that's something you have plenty of space to do that. I've had a couple of people say, hey, James, we want to take out this whole entire wall to just make it one big closet. That is something that we can also accommodate. So we're not a full custom builder, we're a semi-custom builder, but just want to point out some of the things that we can do. And over here you have that walkthrough to the utility. We've added those cabinets up top. We've done the utility sink. Those are options that are upgraded, but you don't have to do that. And we have some beautiful tile that's laid down here to give it a personal touch, just so you can see what we can do. Now down this hallway, this is going to be bedroom number 2. As you can see, really nice space in here. It can fit a nice size queen or a king, but this would be, you know, the room that you have guests over or your grandparents or parents and they're here and it's like you're here for a little time, not a long time. But one thing to note is this walk-in shower. This is something that I always recommend. And the reason why is because of parents. So if you have parents that are a little bit up in age, then they don't want to hop in over a tub. This is something that is definitely recommended because we do this at foundation. So that's actually a drop down into the foundation. And that upgrade is only $1,500. So that's, like I said, a lot of these things that we do, it is at cost. And we include a lot more features on the home. Just like this right over here, this mud bench, that's an included feature. Depending on the plan, you may have 2 mud benches, but on this plan, you're only gonna have 1. And over here, this is the 2-car garage. Now this is a J-swing, it's a 3-car split, but as you notice, this is the 2-car garage over here on the left side of the home. And now we're gonna go make our way through here and we're gonna go check out this elevated home office. But before we do, almost forgot, we have our half bath right here. You'll notice it's the floating cabinet. This is definitely something that we've upgraded. You have the option to do that, or it would be like a pedestal, something standard, depending on what you wanna do. And that also includes the frame mirror, and you notice the nice black and bronze fixtures. All right, guys, so here we have the home office in the front of the house. We've done the accent wall, there's surround sound, and we've added some nice fixtures in here. You do have a closet over there for a little bit of storage. Now, one thing I also want to go back to is the floor plugs. Now, the floor plugs is $3.90 each. I always recommend doing 1 or maybe 2 in the family room And then we also, depending on how many monitors or how many plugs that you may need, you can do one right over here on the floor. And if you really want to get creative, then I also recommend, especially for the holidays, this little corner right here. Maybe you want to have a really nice tall Christmas tree, and how about you just put a floor plug right there? That way you don't have any wires that are being exposed. They're all under the tree, which I think is really cool. All right, guys, so upstairs, this is your game room, and we're gonna go through some more structural upgrades that is up here because these are all important. Now, like I said, this is a 4336. The plan number is the square footage of this house. If you add the media room, that brings it up to about 4,600 square feet. We can build this home as a 5-bedroom. Now, the 5th bedroom can either go here if you do not choose the media room, or if you do have the media room, you can have this right here, and your hallway would go down this way. And kind of give you a vision of how that would look. This would all be the same. This door would not be here, but that hallway would go all the way down there. And over here, we would redesign the home. And this is where that 5th bedroom would go. And the bathroom would be on the other side of this wall. So just to kind of give you an idea of how that would look. And we can also get creative too. So maybe you want the wet bar in here also. So we have 3 options that we can do, which is one, as we extend this hallway, it can go a little bit past the 5th bedroom door, or we can put it right here. Or another option is that we can have another linen closet right here that we would reconvert, and that would be the wet bar. So just pointing out some of these things that are important, and adding the media room brings it up to about 4,600 square feet. Adding the media room and the 5th bedroom, it brings it up to 4,981 square feet. 4,981, that is a pretty big house. So now we're gonna go over here. We're gonna check out bedroom number 3. Nice little drop down, can fit a nice bed in here. We have it designed to, I would say that this is probably the daughter's room. She wants to be away from everything. She still has her space, the closet over here. And we haven't done anything, just made sure that we've made it really put that personal touch so you can have an idea of whenever you're building this home, or if you're deciding to go with a inventory home if we have one available. Shower tub combo, nothing too much in here. We've done the floor to the ceiling with the tile, changed out a couple of the fixtures, but not too crazy. When building homes, I don't really see a lot of people that are really designing to put a whole lot of money in the upstairs of the house. Like I said, most of the time, you're gonna go and spend most of your design center credit on the kitchen, the floors, the primary, and the primary bath. Everything else is really optional, but hey, it's your money. I'm not gonna tell you what to do with it, but just be mindful, because a lot of people may get concerned. It's like, oh yeah, I have the money and I can spend that. But you also wanna consider, adding all of this stuff onto the home. It can potentially cause some type of appraisal issue, and I don't want that for you. So make sure that you're, keeping that in mind, especially when going through the build process, because although we want you to make that personal touch, put that personal touch on your home, we also want you to be mindful, and we don't want you to get in a situation where the home doesn't appraise. Now over here, this is the loft. This is included on this plan. I can kind of envision, if you have a little girl or a little boy, maybe they want to make this like their play area or doing some homework. Or if you just want to get away from everyone in the house, make this like a nice little reading area over here, because we're away from everything. It's really quiet, and we have our 4th bedroom, which is a full ensuite as well, over here on the left side of the house. Now we're actually above the single car garage on the other side of the home. Nothing too crazy in here, just a few personal touches. Has its own full ensuite. And back over here, you have this walk-in closet on the other side of the house, so they have some privacy over here as well. And this is the 4336. Now, circling back a little bit about this community, I launched it in 2024 at the end of August. I'm very proud of it. I'm very excited to see the growth and how we've now got homeowners in here. We're very pleased, and I'm very grateful for all of the people that has given me the opportunity to call this place home. It is 185 homes, 62, 72, 82, and 100. Those are the home sites. We have plans that can accommodate home sites. So depending on the repetition, we're very strict on that. We're also very strict on the brick selection. So also making sure that nothing looks like a very cookie cutter home and your home doesn't look the same as somebody else. But one of the biggest advantages about this community and this area is that it is a 152 property tax, low property tax. There's no mud tax, there's no PID tax. So that gives you additional savings. So you're looking at saving about, depending on how much you're putting down, anywhere from $300 to $600 on your monthly payment by not having those additional taxes that you have to be concerned with. And so let's just take, for an example, $600,000 with an area that may have a high around a 2.7 tax rate. You're looking at around $4,200, $4,300, and doing the same thing with a tax rate out here on a 700 to 740-ish price tag. You have the same monthly payment. So those are things that you also want to keep in mind too when building a home and choosing exactly where you want to live. So I always want to just be mindful, because you can build the home, but the numbers, that is what makes the most sense. Now, like I said, you can always reach out to me via email. You can text me, you can drop a comment. My phone number is 318-451-7437. Again, it's 318-451-7437. And this is the 4336 floor plan, 4-bed, 4.5 bath, game room, media room, loft, terraces in Rockwall. And I am very, very appreciative of you taking the time out to check out my model home. Like I always say, DEAF, don't ever accept failure. I live by it, I stand by it, and I always hope that you can do the same. Until next time, stay blessed.